And here we go to week 3 in the NFL with a bunch of quarterback injuries shifting some of our lines.
You hear that? What opportunities knocking for some of these backups, baby.
Jake Browning season.
You are what you are.
Bengals and Vikings is Jake Browning versus Carson Wentz. We're going to have that on CBS, matchup between the two best receivers in the NFL.
For that? My gosh.
Pete, I hope that everybody in the YouTube comments that faded you week 1 did the same week 2 because you came back down to earth. 5-12?
Yeah, it was a bad week. It was a bad week.
What was my best bet last week?
You guys 0-2 and your best bet's not good. Mine didn't hit last week either. But Kyle, you're now you were what? You were
I was about 8 games down.
Now you're only 1 game back.
Yeah, the Steelers let me down on the best bet, and so I let you guys at home down, and I'm really sorry about that. And they asked Mike Tomlin about it, and they said, do you guys ever work on that? He said, literally every day of our lives.
Okay, Jack, what was my best bet? Let's hear it. Well, my best bet.
Mine was Cowboys.
You know who my best bet was? It was Arizona. It was Arizona.
Okay,
you know
what a collapse.
On to week 3.
And you know, can you believe that's a loss for me?
Well, it was a big Bryce Young. Bryce Young got you, Peter. All right, let's get back above 500 here, and let's start with the Thursday nighter, the biggest spread of the week. It's the Dolphins, 0-2, at the 2-0 Buffalo Bills, and this line is big. It's 12.5, but that might not be big enough.
I like them so much, I'm going to call them the Williams this week, the Bills, okay? I just love Josh Allen. I love the offensive line, and I really enjoy watching this team play football. On the other end of the spectrum, the Miami Dolphins, now with some more injuries, I'm still not sure how Chop Robinson's going to be, but the entire program looks to be in disarray. You and I have talked about it till we're blue in the face. I love the Bills in this spot, even with that large number.
Absolutely. I think when you look at this Buffalo team, we know they're good on offense, but the defense showed up last week and did a real. Bosa looks like he's
Joey Bosa, baby.
From the fountain of youth. I mean, he looks fantastic. They said all summer he loved being in Buffalo. He enjoys the atmosphere. He likes the fans there, and he's playing like it. I think they get after the quarterback in this game. Miami's offensive line still isn't very good, and you have all that rift going on. You saw when Tyreek Hill was open and Tua missed him, he pouted on the field. It's just not a good atmosphere. You go on a short week against your division rival that's one of the best teams, maybe the best team in the league at some point. They're going to get blown out, and you could have a change.
Yeah, what happens if this comes true? And look, you guys are picking the Bills to win by, so this is 2 touchdowns. What if it's 2, 3, 4 touchdown spread, and it's on national TV on Thursday night? Could this be Mike McDaniel's last game?
My history of covering this league for a long, long time is when something happens in front of the whole world, usually owners react. And so if they go up there and they just look lifeless and they get beat by 25 points and don't do much, then I think, even though that's not Stephen Ross's MO, I think he might make a change.
I remember in 2019, it was my last year with the Bears, I had about 4 or 5 really bad games leading up to our London trip where I had an even worse game than the 5 before, and everybody saw it in the football world. I knew I was dead on the flight home, and there's going to be a lot of guys, I would imagine, on this flight home Thursday night, if they do get blown out in that fashion, who are starting to make some other arrangements.
Did they tap you?
I didn't get tapped. I was so bad they didn't even tap me. You should know, buddy. Just go home.
Got whacked. Didn't get tapped, you got whacked.
Well, usually a tap you tell you to bring your iPad.
Yeah. That's the only double-digit spread of the week, and it is the very first game of the week. The Ravens had a big spread last week against the Browns. They covered that, so we'll see if the Bills do the same. Let's move to Sunday, our CBS games at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Bengals, Vikings. It's not Joe Burrow against J.J. McCarthy. Both are out, but it is Jamar Chase against Justin Jefferson. We also have Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers looking to bounce back after a really disappointing loss at home to the Seahawks. Speaking of disappointing, the Texans are 0-2. They are slight dogs in Jacksonville, and the Colts, good chance to get to 3-0 on the road against the Titans. Let's start with the Bengals and Vikings. It'll be Jake Browning against Carson Wentz, Peter.
It's not exactly the quarterback matchup you pay big money to go watch, but that's what you're stuck with. And so I want to see how Carson Wentz plays. I mean, look, Carson Wentz wasn't good the last times we've seen him play.
He's the first player in NFL history to start for 6 different teams now in just 6 seasons.
And I have an idea that it might end up being 7 or 8 as he keeps going down the road. I don't think he's very good, but I didn't like what I saw from the Bengals last week. When Browning went in, he threw 3 picks. he did win the game, but he needed a long pass interference penalty to get down there to win the game. He didn't play great football. I know he's won at, well, he's 4-3 when he started for the Bengals a couple years ago, but I think this is going to be one of those situations where at home, tough turnaround, I think the Vikings will find a way to win this game.
The football romanticist inside of me wants Jake Browning to go out there and look like the guy we kind of fell in love with as a backup last time he filled in for Joe Burrow. He did a really good job. And Carson Wentz, I mean, you have to remember back to that Super Bowl year when Nick Foles took the reins at the end of the season and took over. Carson Wentz was in the MVP conversation. He was a dog. Injuries, situational changes. Obviously, you said 6 teams. I can't even, it boggles my mind to think about that. 6 years, 6 teams. What can it do to a psyche of a player? But in this situation, it's the double whammy. Vikings are at home. Vikings have a better roster. Vikings have a better staff. It's Minnesota for me.
Kevin O'Connell, if he comes up with something for Carson Wentz and he shows and plays well, then they'll go back and we'll get off it. Because
Daniel Jones is 2-0. He took a brief one-on-one education up there in Minnesota.
But we were all talking about how great Kevin O'Connell was last week, and 2 weeks ago when he beat the Bears, and then last week they were terrible. So let's see.
Is there a chance the Vikings get better with Carson Wentz, considering how J.J. McCarthy was playing?
What? Well, he can't play any worse.
Vikings could look better without.
Yeah.
But, we also have to understand J.J. McCarthy is so young, and he has a lot of room to grow. Carson Wentz, 6 years, and with Kevin O'Connell. I'm telling you, Daniel Jones has been playing his butt off the last 2 weeks. Don't be surprised if Carson Wentz looks pretty darn good.
J.J. McCarthy had one good quarter so far of all the ones he's played.
Which is why Carson could have a better outing.
Carson Wentz hasn't had one good quarter, I don't think, in a decade. I mean, come on. Seriously, Carson Wentz isn't any good.
You are what you are.
You are what you are. Ever since he hurt his knee, he's been the same.
Baker Mayfield, 6 teams. He's doing pretty good now.
But you're still taking the Vikings, minus the 3 at home.
Yeah, well, because I don't think Jake Browning's very good either.
All right. Well, the Bengals do have a chance to get to
Skol!
for the first time in 10 years.
Wow.
That's what they do. Skol!
Second straight week he's scolded up.
Lambeau Leap, Skol.
He is so off the Bears bandwagon.
This is called a midlife crisis.
It's amazing.
Break glass in case of emergency.
All right, let's go to the Steelers and Patriots. This one pretty much a toss-up. We saw New England bounce back last week. They win down here in the heat in South Florida against the Dolphins, and the Steelers came crashing down to earth, and they just haven't been able to stop anybody.
Their defense is bad right now, and it's always been their calling card is to be able to play good defense. And somehow, some way, though, I think they're going to regroup in this one. I really do. I think, maybe they told the kick returner that you can't just leave the ball in the end zone.
Well, they told him to take a hike. Well, Caleb Johnson's on the team, but Mike Tomlin did say he's not going to return kicks.
Well, but I mean, how do you lose a game like that and leave the ball there? So I think defensively they're getting pushed around, and that's not who the Steelers are. I think they'll be better than that, and they'll respond in this game. And on the other side, Rodgers can still throw the football.
Oh, yeah.
And I think they're going to go up there. And New England's not great on defense. We saw them struggle on defense last week against Miami. I think Rodgers throws it around. I'll take the Steelers.
I got the Steelers as well. I mean, I know this defense hasn't been playing great, but it's the most expensive defense in football. Not by $50,000, by $17 million. But here's the issue. A lot of those highly paid guys are getting to that point in their career where things get a little bit more difficult physically. Okay?
They're old.
Old relative to their peers, sure. Some of these young chickens, they come in here and they're just juiced up to play every single week. You have to get up physically and mentally to play every week when you're at the age of a Hayward, a TJ Watt. I mean, this game takes a toll on you.
Jalen Ramsey.
Jalen Ramsey as well.
They're getting older.
I like the Steelers here. To your point, Aaron Rodgers can still sling it. I'm still not sold on the New England Patriots, although Drake May looked pretty darn good last week.
He did look good.
Watt, by the way, his previous longest drought without a sack was just 3 games. He's doubled that. 6 games now without a sack for TJ Watt. All right, Pete. Texans and Jags, and this is a big one in this division for both of these teams because you see the Colts on top. The Texans are 0-2. Jacksonville let one slip away last week against the Bengals. You don't seem as concerned about the Jags than a lot of other people do.
What's up with BTJ, man?
He needs to get it going. I mean,
I usually don't watch receivers like that, but I was watching him.
He alligator armed a few. He didn't go. He didn't show a lot of toughness. And Jimmy Smith, who's one of the all-time greats Jaguar players, called him out on Twitter. He said you got to be tougher than that. And I think that's an issue for them. They don't have a true number 1 wide receiver right now, and there's not a rapport between Brian Thomas and Trevor Lawrence. It's been going on all summer, by the way. He hadn't played well all summer. They were concerned about him during camp. He was dropping the ball. He wouldn't get 50-50. They need to get him going. So this week they're trying everything they can to try and get inside his head and see what's wrong with him because he's not close to being the same player. They need to get him going. I think they will. I think their offensive line's been dominant, by the way. One of the best transition in a year that you've seen. Their offensive line's been as good as anybody in this league. Guys like Ezra Cleveland playing at a high level, Robert Hainsey playing at a high level. So I think they'll be able to run the ball. That's what they're going to get back to. Tootin's on the verge of becoming a star running back. You saw his little touchdown last week. By the way, this is the Al-Shaair Bowl, remember? He put Trevor Lawrence out last year in that game in Jacksonville.
And we talked about it right here, not on this desk, the other desk.
Yeah.
I remember covering
that. They remember that, so it'll be interesting to keep an eye. I know it's a different coaching staff, but a lot of those players are still there. Keep an eye on that in this one. But I'll take Jacksonville. I think they run the ball on that team.
I'm going to be going with the Jaguars as well. So many issues in Houston, particularly on the offensive side of the ball. And it's funny because I said that this was a team in the Houston Texans that would have a very high floor for performance because of their defense, their leadership. C.J. Stroud, there's no way he has another year like he did last. It looks like last year right now. It looks like last year on offense. The sky is falling a little bit offensively, and they're going to ask themselves a lot of tough questions. You know who else has tough questions? Brian Thomas Jr., the Jacksonville Jaguars, the discourse between Trevor Lawrence and his head coach Liam Cohen on the sideline.
What was that?
That's
What was
overblown.
that? That was the big social
But here's
media
what's not overblown is the reaction to the media out. When guys in that locker room have challenged themselves. And this week, you're going to get to see the best version of the Jacksonville Jaguars, in my opinion. I remember when Mongo McMichael went on the radio, and he said in Chicago, and he said, if anybody can find Kyle Long's man card, get it to him.
Really?
And when I heard that, I was like, well, that's Hall of Famer Steve McMichael. That's how he feels, and I have to take that to heart and use it. And I would imagine that Brian Thomas Jr., hearing from guys like Jimmy Smith, people like myself, and dozens of others that have weighed in, is going to have a really big impact on.
Well, Pete has his own radio show in Jacksonville. If Pete Prisco tells me to get my man card, I'm manning up this week.
Well, we had a nice conversation about it. He got hit in the game, in a preseason game against the Steelers. Hasn't been the same since. Blasted.
Why aren't you making a big deal out of what a lot of other people are making a big deal of, with the Liam Cohen going like this and Lawrence
it's in the
waving
heat
him
of the
off?
moment, and I know they have a good relationship, and they kind of said that. It's just like, come on, let me get on to the next play. Worry about it. I don't like that kind of thing, but I don't mind it either.
Texans have won 7 straight in Jacksonville, Pete.
It's like when I yell at him.
I used to not think it was a big deal when I was a player to be like, drop a couple F-Fs to your coach every once in a while, scream at him a little bit. And now I'm in the media side. I'm like, did you see that? Did you see what he said?
Because you used to be that guy.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. All right, one more game on CBS in this early window on Sunday, and it's the Colts 2-0 at the Titans 0-2. Cam Ward has looked like a rookie quarterback. Daniel Jones has looked like a number 1 quarterback.
This is our Colts.
Yeah,
this is our team.
This is our time.
We love
Pete
you.
Prisco.
This is the O-line, the impact on a quarterback. It's so important. Okay, Daniel Jones has looked like a Pro Bowler. It's no secret to me because this offensive line has kicked ass, running past Jonathan Taylor, this guy, Tyler Warren, the rookie, unbelievable. This was the guy that I was banging on the table for the Bears to draft. He looks pretty special with that horseshoe on his helmet. I love the Colts in this spot. Overall, I just feel really good about this team. 2-0. They're going to win the division, dude. I picked the Texans. This team is going to win the division. Daniel Jones is going to be publicized as the reason, but it's the offensive line and the running game.
They're good on the offensive line. They have new starters on that offensive line. They don't care. They're really good up front. They're pushing people around. I still worry about
They got a young Paisan down there.
Yeah, Bortolini.
Let's
I still worry about. He's their center. He's played really well. I worry about their defense a little bit, and I think it's not going to show up in this game, but down the road it will show up. But give them credit. I mean, the offense has been dynamic. Daniel Jones has looked fantastic, and the Titans haven't looked good on offense. Cam Ward's struggling, and he threw the touchdown pass.
Oh, he can do some special stuff.
That touchdown pass he threw across the field, but stay in the spot. You're right there in the spot.
He can
There's
do
no
some
pressure.
special stuff. We can agree there.
Oh, he will, and he's going to get good, but right now he's not. I'll take the Colts.
Colts still haven't punted. Still haven't turned the ball
I just
over.
love
Will
singing
they punt
that
this
song.
game?
They've got to punt this game,
They'll
right?
punt. They'll punt. They'll punt this game. What do you say?
No punt.
Wow, he's going on. You just want to try and get clicks for that one. he's trying to get clicks. Send that out on social. Kyle Long says they're not going to punt.
Get in here, Ruben. Here are some of the other early games, all of the other early games, in fact. Man, a lot of early games. We had 9 games on at once last week, doing it again this week in the early window. Eagles and Rams. Let's start there, shall we? This is a rematch of a great divisional round matchup last season. The Rams played the Eagles as well as anybody did in the playoffs, almost won that game. And this is a matchup between 2-0 teams.
Back-to-back road games for the Rams. That's always tough. And you know the Eagles are sitting there saying, these guys have talked the talk all offseason about how they should have beaten us, could have beaten us. I think the Eagles, we haven't seen the best of the Eagles yet, by the way. That offense hasn't been clicking. They've been off. We haven't seen the best of Barkley. I think this is the game they get it going. I think they'll get that run game going. The offensive line will play better than they've played so far. And they'll have 4 first downs on offsides for tush-push that nobody calls. I'm taking the Eagles to win the game.
Yeah, the Eagles, I feel like, are going to get better every week. And a lot of people had complaints and concerns early in the season about this team. And rightfully so. There's question marks on the defensive side of the ball, new faces on the offensive line. But I love the Eagles, especially at home. They understand what's at stake and how quickly things can get out of hand if you do drop one at home. You only get so many home games. And to your point about the tush-push, until they ban this thing, until they make real changes about what can happen to the neutral zone, it's a superpower that only this football team possesses. I feel like if we saw another team line up and the guards were rolling out of their stances pre-snap, they get called immediately. But it's the Eagles. We've seen it for years now.
Grandfathered in?
They're grandfathered into it. Yeah, I love the Eagles.
By the way, the Rams played really well last week. Offensively, they look, because week 1 they didn't look good offensively.
This is going to be a heavyweight fight.
Yeah, this is going to be fun to watch. But I think in the end, the Eagles will be able to get Barkley going and they'll find a way to cover the number.
Rams were great as an underdog last season. They won 5 games straight up as
This
an
one
underdog.
scares me because Matt Stafford is electric. But I'm picking the Eagles.
Sean
I'm sticking
McVay's a
to
great
it.
coach.
Me too.
All right, that's at 1 o'clock Eastern in Philadelphia. Raiders Commanders also with that same line now. Now this line yesterday, Monday, because we're recording this on Tuesday. Monday the Commanders were favored by 6. Monday, but you got the Daniels injury, and he's not officially out at this point of the week, but it certainly seems that it's baked into the spread that he's not going to play.
You would think it's going to be Marcus Mariota. That's what you would think. He's going to be the starting quarterback. And if he is, look, Mariota is a capable backup for a couple games. We've seen that in his career. But I think that's a big difference for this offense. We know their identity is Jaden Daniels and what he can do and getting outside the pocket. He takes way too many hits, by the way. He's got to learn how to get down. He's not a big guy. If he doesn't play in this game, that's a concern going forward. Somebody get him in the room and say, look, stop taking as many hits as you do because you're not a big guy. But I think for this game, I think the Raiders hang around. I didn't like what I saw from the Raiders offensively against the Chargers. I thought Geno Smith was awful. Brock Bowers didn't look like he shouldn't have been on the field.
Yeah.
He was dragging his leg around. I think another week. Genty's fine. He just can't pick up the blitz.
Yeah.
That's a problem. And you don't play if you don't pick up the blitz. So he's got to start learning how to
No
play.
block.
No
rock.
And by the way, the rest of that defense, aside from
They
Crosby,
say.
not very good. The rest of that defense, aside from Crosby, is not very good. But I think they hang around in this game.
I said that this offseason. I got killed by Raider Nation. But, God forbid you tell the truth.
What did you say?
Right? The defensive concerns.
I mean, when Jamal Adams and Devin White are 2 of your best players on the defense, you got a problem.
And Jamal Adams, I give him a lot of credit. He's a guy that's changed with the times to become relevant now, and he went from box safety to linebacker, and he's an OG. But the star power's lacking. One of my favorite players left the Raiders this offseason, and Spillane. He's in New England now. Look, I love Marcus Mariota. I blocked for him in college. He's a special, special guy. And I think the drop-off is not as drastic as people would think, going from Jaden Daniels to Marcus Mariota. I could totally see it happen.
Stop it.
I'm going to pick the Raiders because of the stuff I saw last night from Geno Smith being inaccurate. Geno Smith did things last night I haven't seen from him in a very long time. Miss open guys. It felt like you were watching a rookie second-year quarterback.
Or Geno Smith early in his career.
Yar, what yar?
You're not going to have that 2 games in a row.
Hey, I like that.
You're not going to have that 2 games in a row from him. And if Brock Bowers gets any healthier, he's going to be able to actually be a factor in this game. I got the Raiders.
Okay, let's go back. We're talking
Yeah,
about
I knew you were gonna take it
viral
back.
moments. Marcus Mariota, there's not much of a drop-off from Jaden Daniels to Marcus Mariota?
I'm saying it's not as drastic as people.
You definitely played with him and you were buddies with him.
Verbatim. The drop-off is not as drastic as you would think, going from Jaden Daniels to Marcus Mariota. They're similar type athletes. They can get outside the tackle box, split the field in half,
Except one
threaten
is
the
one
edges
of the 10
defense.
best quarterbacks in the league and the other one's a bench warmer.
Sure, we can pull up the overlay right now. Where would you rank Caleb Williams in the league? Where would you rank him?
At the bottom.
So that's right where Jaden Daniels is this season. You can put the stats up right now, Pete.
Do you believe that?
I believe that right now, in week 2 of the NFL season.
Kyle, you think Mariota is close to Jaden Daniels?
There's a reason that last year when he comes in, and any time that Marcus Mariota has come in, there has been not that far of a drop-off.
He has a point. I looked at the stats last year. Mariota had amazing stats in the 3 games he came in.
He is a solid option.
Jaden Daniels is one of the
and he's got legs to
quarterbacks in the
boot.
league, and Marcus Mariota is not.
Well, you're bringing out some viral moments from Kyle today.
I did. I got him.
It's coming from my guy, Marcus.
Viral cattle prod going. Go viral. Go viral.
Joey Harrington was a good quarterback because he played at Oregon.
Because he had a big poster in New York.
All right.
Did Joey Harrington play the piano? He did.
Yeah, you're supposed to play the piano if you're an offensive lineman, right? That helps.
Paul Alexander, legendary offensive line coach, I took my visit to the Bengals. He gave me a book that he wrote about piano playing and offensive line and the Venn diagram.
And you have still yet to play the piano, correct?
I blew right through that book.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. Packers and Browns, our next game up. All right, Packers favored by 8.5. They've got the 2 most impressive wins and the most impressive start to the season of anybody, right, Pete?
They've been dominant. They've been very good. And defensively, they're really good. I mean, you look at that defense, and I thought they were going to be good before they got Parsons. And on defense, I thought they'd be good before they got Parsons. Reason being, guys going from year 1 to year 2, year 2 to year 3. Edrin Cooper is a star at linebacker. He's not getting the attention he deserves because Micah Parsons is there. He's a star.
He's an all-pro level player.
Wyatt has really elevated his game. Lucas Van Ness has really elevated his game. The corners, Nixon's playing great football. The 2 safeties are fantastic, both of them. McKinney and Evan Williams, who nobody even knows his name. They're talented across the board. They're going to be tough to move the football on. Jordan Love, we haven't seen the best of that offense yet. We're going to. At some point, we're going to. They have too many weapons. The offensive line.
When Matthew Golden comes along.
But he didn't have 2, and he didn't have 2 offensive linemen last week, including the best one, Zach Tom at right tackle. So I think the best of the offense is still to come. The defense is going to keep them in a lot of games. We know that. I have a little hunch here that the Browns are going to hang around in this one because of Myles Garrett and gang on the defensive side of the ball.
Define hang around.
Cover the number.
Okay.
Cover the number.
Packers are the only team to win both games by multiple scores.
But where are they going today? Where are they going this week? They're out on the road. When you go out on the road, things happen. Things change.
True.
I think they're still the dominant team, but it's going to be close. I think the Browns are going to hang around.
This is why that Packers defensive unit, particularly the front 7, has gotten more dangerous. Each and every one of those guys felt challenged when ownership said, well, we got to go out and get somebody else because what we have in our building is not enough. So you mentioned Lucas Van Ness.
Yeah.
He's been bringing his A game. Rashawn Gary, a guy that they've needed more of. And to your point, Edrin Cooper, he just wasn't healthy for half the season last year. But in that half of season, he had an all-pro type half season. Fewest total yards allowed. There we go.
That's an interesting graphic when you look at the Browns.
That guy Jordan Love's damn good. He's got the juice. He is a special type talent, and you can tell that the guys want to go make plays for him. You either have it or you don't, and I feel like they have that there. And obviously, I like Matt LaFleur a lot. Give me the Packers. They will cover the number.
Okay. We're on the other side of that. I like that.
Okay.
Well, you and I were the same forever.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
Him and Marcus Mariota.
That means we're both going down the toilet.
I'm not
let's go to the Jets and the Bucks. Bucks had the Baker Mayfield come back late to save that game against the Texans and get to 2-0. Justin Fields unsure at this point. Concussion protocol as of Tuesday.
I mean, if he doesn't play, does it really matter that much? I mean, he didn't play well last week. He was bad.
Played well week 1.
He did play well but the Steelers' defense is awful too.
You know what his QBR was?
What?
1.1.
Yeah.
I thought there was a typo.
Yeah, it was bad. He was bad last week. But I think this Bucks team, they've been out on the road for 2 straight weeks. And when you get home for your home opener, that matters. And I think this is a bad spot for the Jets. Jets aren't very good on defense. You know, we thought that was going to be their calling card. Aaron Glenn would go there, they've been tough physical
running
defense.
game and defense.
Correct. They've run the ball a little bit, but they haven't been able to play defense. So I think Baker Mayfield, who, by the way, got just brutalized on Monday night. They beat the daylights out of him. He's got problems on the offensive line with the injuries, but I think he'll be able to hold up. I think they'll be able to make enough plays in the passing game, and their defense played well. I think this is one of those games where the home team gets a big advantage. I'll take the Bucks.
You know, I liked the Bucks last night, and it was so awesome to see that 4th and 10, Baker getting out of Dodge. What a baller he is, man.
Tough.
And for the Jets, It'll be an uphill battle either way against this Buccaneers team with all the weapons they've got offensively, even with the O-line question marks. And with Tristan Wirfs down, we had a lot of questions. Then the other guy goes down.
Yeah, Gedecke's down now, too.
You got Charlie Heck out there blocking his butt off. You love to see that. But I love the Bucs in this spot.
We're trying.
He was, you know what? He was going against two of the best rushers. You got to give it to him.
Yeah, he played
battling.
He did okay.
But I like the Bucs in this spot, man. They're just going to continue to roll. And for the Jets, it's going to be more of the same issues.
The Bucs have one guy playing in this spot that he's going to be playing in when they get everybody back. One, the right guard, Cody Mauk.
It ain't Barton, it ain't Heck, it ain't
Bradderson. No, it's none of them. They're not.
Wirfs is eating sunflower seeds.
Yeah, once they get healthy, watch out for that.
They might be 3-0, banged up as well. If they take care of business here, they might be facing Tyrod Taylor. He's the backup for the Jets. If it's not Justin Fields.
Anything on Tyrod Taylor?
You are what you are.
If he can stay healthy, he's just stay healthy.
You are what you are. He's a backup quarterback.
All right, Falcons, Panthers, and Pete, Bryce Young was out there bebopping and scatting all over the place late in that game.
What?
He was awful when the game was in doubt, and then when they played loose and free when they were battling from behind, somehow the Cardinals let up and he threw the ball around and did some nice things. I'll give him credit for that. I wonder if he should be playing like that all the time. I mean, he's, playing like
with his hair on fire,
playing like a point guard, throwing the ball around, playing up tempo. You could still see 2 or 3 plays where he doesn't see the field because he can't see over the line. I'm dead serious. We sit there. He jumps up sometimes, but he played getting him around, moving him around, playing free and loose. He played much better. But they're not very good, and I think Arizona dominated that game for most of the game. This is a spot though where you look at this game and you say the Falcons are coming off a big win, impressive win, where they didn't do a lot offensively. And that concerns me a little bit. And now they're talking about how dominant their defense is. Is that a byproduct of J.J. McCarthy or a byproduct of how good their defense is? So I think this is one of those situations where the Panthers will hang around in this game. And you're going to give me a team playing its home opener against a team playing back-to-back road games, and they're not that good on offense right now. I'm going to take the points.
I love the Falcons here. I like the Falcons because of all the types of weapons they have and because the engine of that offense is young Bijan Robinson, and we found out exactly how to pronounce that on the broadcast. But he's special.
I thought he changed it again.
It was Bijan. It was his grandmother's preference and his mother. And then he said, I'm a grown-up, and I'm going to call myself Bijan, and so will you, Pete and Kyle and Chris.
Okay.
So that's what we're going to do.
I always called him Bijan.
Look, he gets the football on an inside zone play and can literally run it like a high schooler and just run around people to the outside, okay? He turns inside. He turns plunge into stretch. He can turn stretch into cutback. He can catch the football. And the thing that I like outside of their running game is Michael Penix looks calm all the time. The ball's out. He understands where to go with it, and that's half the battle. As a fan of a team with a young quarterback who I'm trying to watch come along and progress, I turn on the Falcons and I'm like, man, that ball's out quick. It's like a buzzer goes off in his hand. He's got to get it out. I like the Falcons in this spot. Panthers have not shown me enough in 4 quarters of action straight. To your point, they had a bunch of yards at the end of the game. I call those bear yards. We're down 2 possessions, and we're going to go play fast and free and loose.
I call them garbage yards.
Yeah. Those are bear yards.
They did get within the score, though, and had the ball.
You guys have agreed on everything but 2 games to this point.
And Marcus Mariota.
You definitely don't agree on Marcus Mariota being almost as good as
he's got him in the
Daniels.
Hall of Fame.
You agree on all the CBS early games.
There we go.
Disagree on the Packers-Browns, and you just had that disagreement on the Panthers and Falcons.
Doesn't that look fishy, that Falcons line? I got a big one.
We kind of look related.
I got a 6'6" fish.
Let's go to the late afternoon games.
Throw me back, please.
A couple on CBS, including Broncos, Chargers, and over on. I heard the promo on Fox for America's Game of the Week. It's Cowboys Bears.
That's called a revenge game, buddy. Matt Eberflus is in for blood against this team.
Ooh, gosh, they just had a revenge game with the Lions going up against Ben Johnson last week, and that didn't turn out well. We'll start with the Broncos and Chargers. And a Chargers win here and they could really open up some distance between themselves and the rest of that division, Pete.
And you know what it will do if they win? And I do think they're going to win the game, by the way. I think it'll open up all that talk about when are they going to charge her. Chargering. I mean, it's a thing. It's been, and look, I love watching this team. I enjoy watching Justin Herbert play football. I enjoy the way he throws the football. He's one of my favorite quarterbacks to watch. Every game you look there and you look at it and you go, there's three throws where you go, oh my gosh.
He's a football Adonis.
Who else can make those throws? Who else can? I mean, he's amazing. And they're throwing the ball. They don't run the ball. But that has to be a little bit of a concern because Harbaugh and Roman want to run the ball. They have to get that going. They will get that going at some point. The Broncos' defense was bad last week.
Yeah, who's got the better defense so far this season?
The Chargers do. The Broncos' defense was terrible last week. Daniel Jones did what he wanted to. Jonathan Taylor ran for 165, caught the ball out of the backfield. I think this is another chance. When you have a team playing consecutive road games, there's another chance for the Chargers to take a real claim in that division. I'll take the Chargers minus the points.
Offensive line, man. Offensive line. It's good to have one really good guy. It's great to have two. And for the Chargers, they got to move their second year right tackle, Joe Alt, to left tackle when Rashawn Slater went down. And now you watch the game, and it's like he's yawning over there at left tackle. And there's a reason that Justin Herbert can get to these down-the-field throws and why Harbaugh and Roman and the entire offense is all in agreement that, yeah, we got a bunch of badasses that we can hand the football to. And I know that's your MO, Coach. But we got a guy back there who can throw it to anywhere. And if he's got time and he's not threatened from something he can't see, we're going to make him pay down the field. I don't care if it's the no-fly zone, the Legion of Boom. I don't care if the 85 Bears run out of the tunnel. Justin Herbert, with time, will make you pay. He's got that type of arm talent and arm skill. And now we're seeing it happen. But to your point, people are waiting for things to happen as they have year after year for the Chargers. I don't think it's going to be that year. I like the Chargers a lot, man. Give me the Chargers in this one, too.
And by the way, the Broncos can rush the passer. The Raiders, aside from Crosby, don't rush the passer very well.
All right, if they win this game, and you guys both having him winning and covering, they're 3-0, and at least 2 games ahead of the Chiefs, at least 2 games ahead of the Broncos, and they've already beaten the Raiders as well. Also on CBS in that late window, if you don't get an early game, Saints at Seahawks. And all the talk all the time is about Seattle, how tough it is to play. You know that, but it's crazy. They are 1-7 straight up and against the spread in their last 8 home games, obviously going back to last season.
That's a typo.
Doesn't make any sense.
Is that a typo? No.
Yeah, they're much better on the road than at home.
It's amazing. That's amazing.
That is crazy.
Well, they lost at home.
Well, we got booed at Soldier Field a lot, so I was always like, let's go somewhere else and play well. And, those traveling fans will support us that are Bears fans.
But yeah, they lost at home to the 49ers to open the season this year, so they're 0 for so far this year. They're going to change that this week. Look, New Orleans has hung around. I give Kellen more credit because this team is clearly undermanned, and they find a way to stay in games. They're not very good, but they play hard. They play tough. They have some young players that are going to get better. But this is a really tough spot, going all the way across the country against that team in that environment with the defense that's playing well. I think that, and they ran the ball last week. That's a good thing a good sign for Seattle. Kenneth Walker, they ran the ball. So I think they'll run the ball in this game. And I think they'll find a way to cover this number.
Pete, you said all the way across the country. It's just from the beginning of the Louisiana Purchase to the Northwest Passage.
It's pretty far away. Pretty far away.
It's only like one time zone, maybe 2 in the winter time.
What are you, Lewis? You're going to go? I'm Clark.
I'm picking the Seahawks, man. Sam Darnold. Show me something, okay? They got a fullback in Seattle. They like to run the football a little bit. They like to go downtown Julie Brown sometimes with that play action stuff. Sam Darnold, I'm happy for him, man. I'm going to be picking the Seahawks. I like their defensive identity for the head coach. Come on.
By the way, I hung out with Lewis Clark way back in the day.
I'm sure you did. I'm sure you did. They're doing a special throwback NFL Today.
Lewis and Clark. It was 2 people, Pete.
Yeah, I said Lewis and Clark.
Jackson Smith and Jigba has been over 100 yards receiving in both games as well. Sam Darnold doesn't have Justin Jefferson anymore, but Smith
that kid's a good player.
Yeah, really good. Cards at 49ers. This is the other matchup of 2-0 teams. And both of these teams have their major injury concerns. There'll be Mac Jones again, of course, for San Francisco.
I didn't want to pick the 49ers because, look, Mac Jones played well last week. The odds are he's probably not going to play well 2 weeks in a row. But
well, I think the numbers say that I believe the last 7 times he's won, he's lost the next game.
And so does his body of work, if you watch it closely. But they did a nice job of scheming things for him. That's what Kyle Shanahan does. The Cardinals look, they're getting better on defense, but they had some real moments where guys were wide open, even early in that game, and I think that's a concern of mine. I think Shanahan will scheme something up. They'll find a way to win this game. It's going to be ugly probably, but I'll take the 49ers.
Apparently, Kyle Shanahan really liked Mac Jones coming out in the draft.
You told us that last week.
And apparently it wasn't his decision to make because they got Trey Lance. Mm-hmm. And everybody laughed at me last week when I said that. And then Mac Jones goes and wins the game. And I'm like, look, I was kind of
just... Here's a stat for you.
I was throwing darts and I got lucky.
First 49ers quarterback with 275 passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns, and no interceptions in his first start. Montana didn't do that. Young didn't do that. Purdy didn't do that.
So Mac Jones is as good as
Trey Lance didn't do that.
I'm going to let you keep talking, Az.
Yeah, keep going. That's like saying Marcus Mariota is as good as Jay.
I got the 49ers. Security.
We'll have best bets coming up in just a little bit, by
like
the way,
a little
as well.
gnat, aren't I?
This is a weird one, this next one. Cowboys at the Bears. I know the Cowboys gave up all those points to Russell Wilson, but the Bears gave up 50-plus to the Lions as well. They don't look good either side of the ball. The Bears are actually a 1.5-point favorite, Kyle.
I think people forget how loaded the Lions are and how good they can be when they're rolling. And they were rolling, and they were pissed off last week. You could hear it from the fans at Ford Field. You could see it from the guys on that football team. They were planning to make a statement. You know who else is going to make a statement? Matt Eberflus. Defensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, like the one he made last week against Russell Wilson.
Going against his old team. Well, you know what? He was probably thinking ahead.
Yeah, he was.
He was
looking
thinking
ahead.
Okay, so I think that's what we're going to see. It's going to be the matchup of Caleb Williams probably going against a lot of zone opportunities. I know Eberflus likes to run the zone. And one thing we saw from Caleb early in the season was he wasn't able to hit those window throws, those open guys in windows. Eberflus might force him to try to take some of those, and hopefully they can try to capitalize. That's probably what their bet is. I think the Bears will win the game.
Really?
But I got the Cowboys covering.
What?
1.5 points.
So you
Wait,
think
hang on. The Bears are going to win by 1?
You know what that is?
What?
That's cover his ass in Chicago. That's what that is. Because I was going to say, there's a headline again.
Nope, I did it. Bears win. Cowboys cover.
Kyle's off the Bears bandwagon. I'm taking the Bears.
You are too?
I am. And the reason I am is because you mentioned it. Eberflus's secondary was awful last week. I don't care how much zone you play. They busted all over the place. Even Caleb Williams can find open holes against that defense. Russell Wilson looked like the greatest quarterback in the history of mankind last week, and he's terrible. That's how bad that defense was. I think they make Caleb Williams look good. I'll take the Bears.
That was like Malik Neighbors. He ran down the seam. We call that a Louisiana route by you. He ran by every single person.
A couple times.
Yeah.
They ran. Robinson was open all day. I mean, they can't cover in the back end.
Got to play defense. Dennis Allen's defense was historically bad last week.
Plus, I think the desperation is setting in for the Bears. You saw Ben Johnson getting a little snippy.
Ooh.
Little snippy.
Yeah.
I like listening to the summer press conferences and then the fall press conferences.
Caleb Williams has lost 12 of his last 13 starts. So have the Chicago Bears.
He beat the Packers, though.
Did beat the Packers.
So he's got that going for him.
Gosh, you guys, 2 bald guys with the same picks. Pete and Kyle, they've agreed on everything but 3 games so far. Everything but 3 games.
That just reeks of we're in the toilet.
And Kyle thinks the Bears are going to win that game, but lose by a point. I mean, I'm sorry, not cover by a point. Wait.
Yeah, he took the Cowboys.
Yes,
the Bears winning.
To cover.
Winning by 1.
Thank you,
Chris. The Bears winning
God,
by 1.
I feel like Kyle now. I don't know what spreads are.
He doesn't really believe that. He's just covering his ass in Chicago so he gets a free deep dish somewhere.
Here are the primetime games. We already picked that Dolphins-Bills game. The guys both have the Bills minus 12.5. Sunday Night Football, a matchup of 0-2 teams. Monday Night Football looks great. Sunday night, oof.
That's just one game on Monday, right?
Just one game on Monday.
Oh, thank God.
No double. You don't have to stay up till 1 in the morning.
The people on the West Coast are like, this is great. I love this. I'm like,
no.
Shut up over there.
1 o'clock in the morning.
Chiefs 0-2, Pete. They've lost 3 straight games. First time in Patrick Mahomes' career. Does it get to 4?
No. They're going to win the game, but the Giants are going to cover the number. I think the Giants' defense will keep them in the game. Look, we've seen this offense is very limited in what they can do for the Chiefs right now. They can't run
The Chiefs have never won at the Giants. Can you believe that? You've never seen it, Pete. You've never seen a Chiefs team go into New Jersey
Nope.
and beat the Giants.
Nope. never have. And I think they're going to do it this week. I just think it's going to be ugly. I think the Giants' defensive front will keep them in the game. I just don't love what I've seen from their offense. They don't run the ball at all. They can't consistently get the run game going, and that's a problem when you play a pass rush like the Giants have. So they hang around in the game. I'll take the Chiefs to win, but I think the Giants hang around.
Drops, pre-snap penalties, not being efficient in the running game, injuries, all big-time concerns
Kelsey drops.
for the Chiefs.
Kelsey
I said
drops. I said Kelsey
that
drops.
goes into
Kelsey
everybody.
drops.
You
won't
said
say
Kelsey was going to be better this year.
He is.
You think so?
Yes.
A little bit better.
Yes, he's going to be
He's
better.
better than
the guy's 35, and he's caught the ball 20,000 times
Better
in his
than he was a
career.
year ago. He's better than he was last year. He's in better shape.
This team, they are who they are. The bones are the bones on this team. It's not that high-flying football team that we've seen with a dominant defense and an incredibly high ceiling for offense. What they have is a high floor for offense because of Patrick Mahomes. And they're going to be in battles every week. I totally think this is going to be a battle, but the Chiefs win. They barely cover. And yeah, that's where I'm at here.
So you got the Chiefs.
They're going to be getting their first win at MetLife.
Speaking of bones, I mean, the Chiefs have made their bones on winning one-possession games. They were 12-0 in one-score games.
And
last
Butker ain't missing isn't hitting
this season.
kicks. That's concerning. He's been automatic for them.
Well, last year he wasn't great either.
But historically, the last 7-6 years.
If he keeps going the wrong way, he's out of there.
Yeah.
All right, that's Sunday Night Football, a matchup of 0-2 teams.
All right.
Monday Night Football, it's going to get loose.
Love this game.
High total of the week. That's going to be someone's screensaver.
I
Pete?
like that.
Lions, 5.5-point dogs at the Ravens. The total is 51.5, and I know Pete. He cannot resist a high total.
Love that. Oh, I love this game. You see a defense that actually stopped people. I mean, you look at the Lions. They haven't stopped anybody. They haven't been good on defense. I mean, Caleb Williams moved the ball a little bit on them last week. I think the Ravens are going to move the football, but I also think the Lions are going to move the football as well. This is going to go up and down. This is everything and anything you want to see if you're not a fan of offensive football. A lot of points. In the end, though, I think the Ravens find a way to win it. But I like the over, too, in case you're wondering.
So remember when we saw the Packers beat the Lions week 1? I was out there at Limbo, and it was like, oh, my God, this team is great. We saw the Lions last week. The Packers team was great. Then we saw the Lions play the Bears, and we put the crown back on the Lions a little bit. This is the week that we really understand how good this Ravens football team is. This is where we see them just all systems go, and it's in prime time. Man, oh man, this guy Lamar Jackson's special. The running game special. The defense at all 3 levels is fun to watch. Jim Harbaugh has been an industry staple for 30 years, it seems like. I remember being 12 watching John Harbaugh football teams. There's a reason he's been there so long. They're well coached, and they've got a great roster. I love the Ravens in this spot.
And they didn't play that well early in that game against the Browns last week, but once they got it going, they started looking like the Ravens again.
Still covered a big spread, a double-digit spread in that game. All right, those are the prime time games. Mentioned that the guys agreed on the first prime time game on Thursday Night Football. Pete also likes the over in that Buffalo-Miami game, over 49.5. Kyle, what do you think of the total 51.5 in Lions-Ravens?
I'll go over. I'll go over for that one. It'll be loose.
I like it.
All right, here we go to best bets. We got to turn this thing around. Come on.
Why am I underneath Kyle, by the way? We're both 0-2.
He wins the tiebreaker because he was better
Yeah, I
last
beat
year.
you last
That's
year.
right.
That's a good reason.
We all whiffed on our best bets last week. All of us.
Okay.
Okay,
So-
but at least mine was in the vicinity. Well, I had Arizona. That was a good pick.
Okay, you still lost, Pete.
Who was your pick?
Cowboys minus 5.5
Call
against
this
the
I got a
Giants.
feeling.
I just needed a touchdown in overtime, and I would have been able to cover that. All right, Pete, since it was the last game we just picked, tell us again why you think that we're going to see a lot of points in the Ravens-Lions game.
I think it's going to get into the 60s. I think the winner of that game is going to score 35 or more. I just don't. I don't believe in either defense. The Lions' defense doesn't rush the passer very well. Other than Hutchinson, I don't think he's back all the way. I think the Ravens are going to move the football on him, and I think the Lions can move on anybody. Their offensive line played much better in the second week than they did in week 1.
did.
I think they're going to score points. So my best bet is over 51.5 in that game.
All right, Kyle, what's your best bet?
This is ridiculous.
It is really unbelievable.
My best bet is the Dallas Cowboys plus 1.5.
Just you need to make like an exacta play
Look,
here.
okay.
You have them winning by 1 point.
Last I checked, the best defender on the
losing by
Chicago Bears, his hip flexor is not attached to the bone that it's supposed to be attached to. That's Jalen Johnson. That would be the guy that would be covering CeeDee Lamb or George. He ain't in there. The other guy that's in there now, Tyreek Stevenson, he was celebrating during a Hail Mary last year. Remember him? Yeah. That's the other guy.
I know all your reasons.
Dak Prescott is a superstar. He's got 2 great receivers. Matt Eberflus is going to have his defense ready. I'm telling you right now, Cowboys plus 1.5.
Okay, but wait, who's winning the game?
The Bears.
So you made your best bet a team that you
Look, that's not what they're asking me, Pete. They wanted to know the best bet. I am telling you right now.
There's one. They have 1 point.
I'm telling you right now, man.
See, I think he picked the Bears to save face.
I have been in that building.
What's the hot dog with all the mess on it?
Oh yeah, the Chicago dog. It's got like a pickle on it.
I have been in that building before when it feels like the sky is falling, and it really is every time.
But they're going to win. But they're going to win the game.
But they're going to win the game.
That's the worst best bet of all time.
You're going to have to play an exact score at least. Get like plus
You'll get
3,500 value
on it.
on it.
A boatload on that.
Let's go to
and take
my
the
pick.
second half over for garbage points.
My pick is 49ers minus 1.5 against the Cardinals. The Cardinals, their cornerbacks are banged up.
Mac Jones.
The Mac is back, right? He's back.
Shanahan's brilliant.
The 49ers know how to play injured. They've done it for years. Christian McCaffrey's not injured. He leads the NFL in touches.
Aren't you worried, though, that we both have the 49ers, too? Usually when you do that, it goes
That's
rotten.
true. That happened last week. We all had the Cowboys, and I picked the Cowboys.
That was rotten.
Producers, they had that teaser last week.
That went rotten, too.
Yeah, that was rotten.
I'm going to get killed for the Bears pick.
Yeah, sure you are.
Unless
okay,
the Bears win by a point. Then you're sitting pretty. You're going to get a new boat. Producers have the Texans plus 1.5 at the Jags. You guys both had the Jags, didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah.
So they're going against the grain on that one.
The producers, yeah.
In the Al Shahir Bowl.
It's going to be electric.
Texans, that would be, well, they also said that they like the Texans plus 1.5, but they're going to lose by a point.
Oh, so they're using that rationale. That's brilliant.
Jake Moody's going to kick the game-winning field goal.
Oh, my gosh. Kyle, you're something else. All right, those are our best bets. That's every game.
It's the worst pick ever.
Every game from week 3 in the NFL. We already have a bunch of quarterbacks who are
It's
hurt.
a survival test, the NFL.
Man.
Never forget it.
Brock Purdy's still out for the 49ers. We'll see about Justin Fields this week for the Jets. I'm glad you guys are healthy. I hope you are too. Thanks for watching, everybody.